Hi guys, it's Mary Ellen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about scrapbook paper, one of my favorite things to use in my planner, and I'm going to show you 10 ways that I do that. So if you'd like to see that, keep watching. So today's sponsor is BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Like for me, yes. There's a lot of things, as we've talked about on my channel before. There's grief, there's anxiety, there's ADD. Recently, I thought, you know what? I can't do this on my own anymore. I went online searching and I found BetterHelp. And it's not a crisis line, it's not self-help or anything. It's actually licensed professional therapists online. So you go on, you take this quiz, basically match you to a therapist who's specific to your needs. So I just put in like the things I was concerned about, and then they kind of matched me to a therapist in my area. And I love her, you guys. I thought for sure I was gonna have to bounce back and forth between them, and you can change all the time to find the perfect one for you. But I got lucky right away, and it's really been, I'm still struggling, but it has been helping, and just knowing that I'm doing something to help is helping. Do you know what I mean? So my therapist has given me lots of tools to, get through stuff, and I can do it all online. Like I can do it all online at home. I don't have to go anywhere. You can do it by video. You can have phone calls. You can have messaging. And I can also message my therapist in between sessions, which was really important to me. So if I'm having a bad day, I can kind of reach out to her and say, hey, what can I do here? And she can help me out a little bit. So after you sign up, you can start communicating with your therapist within about 48 hours. It's available worldwide and is really pretty affordable. I found it to be cheaper than going through my insurance. It gave me a special offer for my listeners. You can get 10% off if you go to betterhelp.com/planningwithbumble, and you can join the over 2 million people who are taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. So thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Now let's get on with it. So every month on my Patreon, my patrons get to suggest videos for the following month, and then I choose one. So this month's idea was suggested by Carrie. So thank you, Carrie. I appreciate the suggestion. I've actually been meaning to do this video for quite a long time, so it gave me the push that I needed. So there's lots of different ways you can use scrapbook paper in your planner. I didn't start doing that until about a year into planning, and I haven't looked back because I really love doing it. So let's take a trip down memory lane in my planner and just see 10 different ways that I use this stuff. So the first way I use scrapbook paper in my planner is I put it across the middle. So here's an example of how I did that. I took this beautiful paper and I just cut strips, to fit this middle section, and I just put it across the middle. Now, if you do that, you can put box stickers on top of it to make it more functional for you, or you don't have to. I use a big happy planner, and the reason I do use the big is that it gives me so much room to decorate, and it's just lots of space. So I can do fun things like this without having to worry about sacrificing function. But if you're somebody who's really, really busy, you can put boxes across it, and I do that too. And I kind of did it here as well. Okay, so here's another one, and I did the same thing, except I put it, on the bottom section. It's really easy to just measure and cut these sections and just glue them down in your planner. When I'm gluing them down, I usually use Tombow mono adhesive tape, which is this. And basically it's like a tape runner. You just put it on the back. It sticks really, really well. And you don't have to worry about it popping up or anything like that. So let me get another example of this one, because I do this quite a bit. I had fun going back through my planners and looking up this stuff. Oh, okay, so here's an example of a currently page. So I do this a lot in currently pages, actually. The old currently pages from the Happy Planner had a black area up here, and I didn't always want that black. So I would cover it up sometimes with scrapbook paper. This is just a wood toned scrapbook paper, and I put the month in with these big sticky letters. And I love how that turned out. It just gives a little more interest to your page. So you don't have to take the page as it is. You can kind of create your own thing which is what I did here. The second way I use scrapbook paper in my planner, and I do this all the time, is I rip pieces and I place them on the edges. So I might do, in the corners. So I might do this corner and this corner. I might do this one and this one. I might do all four. But I love doing that because it just adds a little spice to the corner of your page. And like I said before, you can layer boxes on top of that because I know it does take up a lot of room, especially if you're working in a classic happy planner or a smaller planner like that. But I just love the way it looks. I love the ripped paper look. It just, I don't know, it appeals to me. I know it's not for everyone, but I love that. So let's find another example of that one. So here's another example of that. And this time, instead of ripping it, I actually took some cardstock and I cut them into like these sort of geometric shapes. And then I ripped paper and put it like on top of that for a sort of layered look. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, here's another example. This is not scrapbook paper, but it's craft paper. And this time, instead of ripping it, to make triangles in the corner, what I did was do like a more skinny piece and covered like almost the whole day, but then I put stickers on top of the paper. So I just think it adds a little bit, and like I said, it adds some interest, it adds some texture to your page, and I think that's really important sometimes because I love stickers, don't get me wrong. I love stickers, but once in a while I want to add like a little more to the page. And especially if I'm just feeling in a creative mood and I just want to do something different, because sometimes like I feel stagnant in my planner. As you know, if you watch my videos, you've seen me do like lots of crazy things that sometimes work out, sometimes don't work out. But scrapbook paper, like it never steers me wrong. I always love it when I use it, and it just like I said, adds something. There are a lot of examples that I would love to show you, but they were patron spreads and I don't have the spread because I was thinking, ooh, that one. But you can check out my Instagram for other examples. And if you go to the hashtag Bumble patron spreads, you can see all the spreads I've done for people. And there's a lot of scrapbook paper in those. All right, so let's go to the third example, which is, wait, I have my list. I'm trying to be organized here. Okay, so the third way I use scrapbook paper in my planner is putting strips down the middle. Now, this is also another example of like ripping paper and putting it in, but this time what you do is you cover like the middle all the way to the edge, and then you're gonna take a punch and you're gonna punch out the holes because obviously, once you put that down, you're covering the holes. So you're going to punch those out. And I don't know, this is just something really fun to do. Back in the day, like when I first started Happy Planner, they used to have like a solid color in the middle. And sometimes it wouldn't match my spread. So I would either use washi tape or paper to cover up those areas. And I love this example because this time I took some paper, but I think the one side was pink and the other side was red. And what I did was just, put red here and pink here. And I love how that turned out. I think it was so fun. And it just adds something, right? If I didn't have this in the middle, like it would be a cute spread. But bam, it just makes a difference. And okay, so this spread in particular is leading to my next example. So you're probably noticing something else about this spread, which is I used the same paper to create boxes on the side. Now, what I used was a Happy Planner box punch. I didn't use this one, I used the big size, but they come in two sizes. I have them both. And basically you just punch it out, you lift this up and you take the paper out. And what it does is basically turn it into a decorative box like these, okay? And if you know how to use these stickers, then you'll know how to use paper. And this time I love this because it coordinates with the middle, but it doesn't take away too much of, the design on the page. I just really like how that turned out. But I'm going to show you another example of using a box punch to create decorative boxes with scrapbook paper. I don't love this one as much for some reason, but this time I took a piece of scrapbook paper that was all fall leaves, and I just took one of those punches and I punched it out. You can take these and you can put them directly in the box. I just prefer it when it's not like directly in the box, but it just adds a little fun to your page and a little decoration. And you use less stickers really when you're doing this because you're creating your own decorative box stickers, which I really like. Okay, number 5. Wait a minute, before I get to number 5, I found another example of number 1, which was, remember putting scrapbook paper across the middle? If you know, you know. It's my chicken spread. So basically, I did the same thing as I did before when I put it all on the bottom. I measured, I cut these pieces out, but instead of putting it all across, I put one up here and one down here just to make it a little more interesting. Because with this spread, I had black, like I wanted to do like mainly black and white throughout with pops of color. So that's what I did for this one. Okay, let's get to number 5. Number 5 is creating scenes. So you can create scenes with scrapbook paper. I've done it before. In this one, I was going on vacation, which I actually never went on. I had to cancel it because of COVID, which, wow. But the spread's cute anyway. So for this one, I took this blue scrapbook paper, which is kind of like watercolory. It's really pretty. And I thought I'd create, you know, an ocean. So I cut it out in like a wavy pattern. I pasted it down on my page. And then I took white cardstock, ripped it, and made sand. Now, the white was too white, so in this one, I think what I did is I took like tea bags or like coffee or something, and I aged it so that it was a different color. So it looked more like sand. I really like how this turned out. Of course, you can just use like, you know, off-white paper. You don't have to go crazy like me, but I really like how this one turned out. Don't be afraid to use scrapbook paper to make a cute little scene at the bottom, especially if you have like scrapbook paper that has grass on it or, you know, water or anything like that that's already on the page for you. Just cut it out. You don't have to use like the whole sheet of paper or anything. Just cut out the pieces that, you know, appeal to you and make the scene. So this is just a really fun thing to do once in a while, just for a change of pace. So another way you can use scrapbook paper in your planner is to cut out shapes out of that paper. So this, I love this spread. This is one of my favorite Christmas spreads that I've made. It's just super fun. And what I did with this one is I had this scrapbook paper that had just like some random things on it, and I cut them out. So this pile of presents was cut out from that paper, and then I put a Happy Planner tag on there. It was really cute. And then this girl, actually this whole, from here to here, it's white. You really can't tell, but like this season's greetings, and then I wrote ho, 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 but she was there and I could have cut her out, you know, or I could have cut this out separately. When you cut pictures out from the same paper and put them in random pages throughout your spread, it actually looks really, really coordinated because it's obviously going to be the same colors and everything, but it's not so obvious that it's like scrapbook paper. It's sort of like a sticker, except it's cut out from paper. You can do this with scrapbook paper. You can also do this with pictures you print out on the internet, like anything. Just really try to use your imagination because it's just so fun to do different things in your planner. So let me show you another example of when I cut things out of scrapbook paper. So this is a journal spread that I did back last year, and what I had done was found like an old scrapbook of mine. Actually, it was an old calendar where I had all these old tickets and pictures and stuff. I cut all that stuff out. I put it on here, but it was an 80s themed spread. So do you see these cassette tapes? These were actually part of a piece of scrapbook paper that had all cassette tapes all across. I think it was Amy Tangerine maybe. But I decided to cut out individual cassette tapes. And like I said, it brings like the colors that are on that page into your spread so that it's like coordinated. So I really like it. I think it's so fun. And you really can't even tell that it came from paper. It kind of looks like stickers, right? Okay, one more example of when I cut things out of paper. And I'm embarrassed to put this on here because I never wrote in it. But I love this spread. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me take this off. So this is when I went to Paris. I adore this spread and I'm so mad at myself that I never wrote in it. It was supposed to be like a journaling spread. When I came back, I was going to write in it. I just didn't. And I could now. I mean, I remember like I have a little mini note, happy notes that I brought with me that said what we did each day. So I could still do it and I might, but I had this like piece of scrapbook paper that was like a travel piece. It was like a 12 by 12. I bought at Michael's, and it just had that old world feel. I actually had taken, this was another page where I did like tea or coffee or something. I cut out like big areas and just kind of glued them on my page. And then I did combine it with like that ripped effect for some of it, but this was all on the same piece of paper. And I just cut out little things on that piece of paper. So I really like doing that sometimes. It's just super fun. Okay, number 7. So instead of ripping strips, you can cut out strips and you can cover your whole sidebar with it. And that's what I did here. This is actually 2 pieces of paper. You can kind of see, you know, where it joins, which I don't love, but I had cut out like this strip and I thought it was perfect for the sidebar. I love that girl. I just thought that was really, really cute. And then since I did that, I felt like I needed something over on the other side of the page to like pull it all together. So I cut out another 2 strips. This is one and this is one, so that I could create like this area over here that matched this area. So you can cut like, it's sort of like when I was like, why am I having trouble talking? It's sort of like when I was covering like this area or this area, except I'm just covering different areas. I'm doing it vertically. You can also take scrapbook paper and like vertically, you know, put it here on your days and then cover them with stickers. I've done that with black paper before, which I didn't show you in this because it's not technically scrapbook paper, but I've done that and it looks really cool. It's a cool effect. So let me show you another way I used strips vertically. I did it in this currently page. I actually use scrapbook paper a lot on currently pages. This time I thought the page was a little bit boring and I just wanted to add something else to it to punch it up. So I took this paper and I just cut strips and I just did one on each side. It's balanced, it's cute. So you can do that. You can even do one on each side, like in your spread. You could do this here and then you could cover Sunday and put, you know, box stickers over that. So don't be afraid to do that kind of stuff. Number 8, you can take a piece of scrapbook paper and just use that paper and then put stickers on top of it. You can do that in a spread. I have done that in a spread, but I couldn't find the example. So you can do it in a spread though and cover both sections and then put box stickers on top of it. But in this example, I did it for like a specialty page. This is a gift tracker that I made last year. And you don't even have to put it on top of another page, like glue it to a page. You can if you want the back, but in this instance, it was just a tracker and I was putting it in separately. So like you can see, that's the back of the scrapbook paper. So yeah, I just took that, glued stuff down, and it's immediately cute. Number 9, monthlies. So you can take scrapbook paper, cut it into squares and cover some of those squares on your monthly with paper. I've done that a couple of times. It looks cute. It just adds more design to your page because monthlies are hard to decorate and sometimes like it just looks boring. So, you know, that's how I punch it up once in a while. Of course, if you're like a busy person and you need every single space on your monthly, you're not going to want to cover up certain days. I know that. But you could also, if you are a busy person and need every day, you could also put these down and then put a box sticker on top of it. So it looks just kind of like more decorative than just having a box sticker like this. So it's kind of the same effect as when I used the box punch to put these on certain days. It's just, you know, this is in the monthly. Let's talk about layering. So in this example, I layered a bunch of scrapbook papers together. So I took this paper and I cut it kind of like I did that other time. I did like a straight line cut for these, and then I ripped paper to put it on top of those. And then I even layered washi tape and stickers on top of that. And I just think it makes it really cool. I know it adds a little bit of thickness to your planner, but not too much. And it just creates like this interest. Oh, here's Wallace. Hello, Wallace. He's like, hey, it's my turn. Show me some love. Okay. Are you just gonna lay? Are you gonna lay there, Wallace? They haven't seen you in a while. They probably miss you. Let me show you another example of that. So this is not scrapbook paper. This is actually pages I tore out of a book, and I used like them to layer on top of black paper. I also layered stickers on top of little bits of paper. So layering just makes, ugh. Good thing this video is almost over, Wallace. He matches the spread, look. So layering just is like really fun to do. Try to layer a bunch of stuff together and it adds something. Wait, there's one more example. Oh, I'm kind of embarrassed to show this one because I never used the spread like the Paris one. Oh, look. But this one is another example of layering. So I took a big piece of paper and I ripped it, and then I put like craft paper on top of it in like another ripped area. And oh, this is an example of a couple of things, right? So layering, and then over here was that corner effect. And then I took craft paper and used the box punch to punch them out. This one I even turned on its side just to make it a little bit different from these. I'm all about balance, but not symmetry, if that makes sense. And I've talked about this a lot because this makes it balanced, but it's not the exact same. I kind of don't love it when it's the exact same all the time. So there you go. That's 10 ways you can use scrapbook paper in your planner. Let me know in the comments if you have used any of these ways. And also if you have any questions for me, I would be happy to try to answer them. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Bye.